To the many who love this sport, it was 50 years ago this fall, with pen and pad in hand at Old Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, I got my first chance to cover the National Hockey League.
That was Mike Emricks.
14 teams. Gordie Howe was a Red Wing. Bobby Hull was a Blackhawk. Bobby Orr was a Bruin. All three went to the Hockey Hall of Fame. Gordie Howe's son Mark and Bobby Hull's son Brett did too. At that time, there were still scoreboard clocks with sweep hands, and a lot of players with good bare right hands. Time passed, rosters expanded, the league did too. Now 32 franchises. Although I've decided to put down the play-by-play headset mic at NBC, and they have graciously allowed me to do some essays like this in the future, a time like this makes me recall that we have seen a lot together.
Snowy day, celebration of hockey in Buffalo.
Not all of our games had a roof.
Here comes Crosby.
12 years ago in Buffalo, there was the first replay through clouds from a plane.
21 seconds in.
And later, a winning goal through snow flurry.
Score! Penguins win!
Then 6 years later, two Original Six teams, Detroit and Toronto, and the biggest crowd ever, over 105,000 at Michigan Stadium.
Trying to win it.
And another shootout.
He scores! The Maple Leafs win!
5 years later, hearing the famous victory march at Notre Dame, and two more Original Sixers, Boston and Chicago, walking over that fabled gridiron. We saw some Olympics, too.
Zach Parise out of a net ball scramble!
A decade ago, a gold medal game that required overtime between the two North American powers in Vancouver.
Crosby scores! The gold medal to Canada!
And 4 years later, in a memorable game in Sochi, when the home team Russians saw an American named T.J. Oshie score 4 times in a shootout,
Score!
Including the clincher.
Team USA wins!
I don't know about you, but I still get chills seeing the Stanley Cup. And knowing how professionals paid well during the season, forget everything, and raise pain thresholds above broken jaws, black eyes, stitches, and a lot we can't see to win a title and get the name their parents gave them engraved on this trophy. Oh, sure, things change over the 50 years. When I arrived, helmets were optional and then required of new players. Visors were optional and then required of new players. We went from one referee to two. Goal judges once sat in chairs behind the net. Now video replay helps make those calls.
We have a goal on the ice.
But much of what I love, perhaps what you love, is unchanged from then to now and into the years ahead. I love that coaches still yell and arguments can happen. I love that goalies can occasionally still score goals. That sentiment can't enter even into what number a player wears or gives up. That banners, like jerseys, aren't just cloth. They represent sacrifice. I love that when fans pay the price of admission, in addition to the game, they can get to see kids get a lifetime memory. Get to see one of their number experience joy. Or get to be in on a surprise reunion of someone serving the country. And speaking of that, to have those who have served on the ice when the anthem is sung, I never tire of that, do you? And I especially love when the horn sounds and one playoff team has won and another, of course, hasn't. All hostility dissolves into that timeless, great display of sportsmanship, the handshake line. 60 years since I saw my first game, 50 years since I first reported on the NHL, 40 years of calling NHL games, and I am always heartened to see this.
Excellent series, Sid. Good job.